Hello, amazing, beautiful, wonderful world and this planet Earth. Today, the topic will be how empathy expands and how antipathy contracts. Well, this is more in relation to feelings and to, shall we say, what our interests are. We do also have natural antipathies and empathies. Like, for example, if a human being sees another human being oppress a third human being, you will feel antipathy. That is natural, especially today where freedom is particularly valued. To see someone oppress and to try to control another is something I highly condemn. That's something I really do not have a like for, to say the least. To see someone help another with their own heart, with their own free will, without expecting anything back, as an example, is beautiful. You feel empathy, you feel a certain kind of kinship with that person. That is when you open up and expand outward. Of course, we are human beings, so there are the pole and we are the pole, and you have the two sides of the pole, so it's three. So when you feel joy, when you feel love, when you feel empathy, you expand to spread yourself out to the universe in a sense. And if you feel antipathy or pain or something you do not particularly care for or do not have a value for, to say, we should say it like that, you contract, you get inside yourself and you feel yourself separate. And we are in the middle. To not lose ourselves spreading out to the universe, and do not lose ourselves inside ourselves. But to stay in that middle where you are yourself expanded in the universe consciously. This is very hard to explain in words. You have to visualize it. You have to imagine it. And you can feel it in a certain sense, and that when you are joyful, the time moves faster. You don't feel time at all. It becomes relative. And you are here in the now, experiencing the universe now. You do the same when you contract, but it is more uncomfortable. It has more to do with pain. And hence you don't want to stay there for too long. So you go, it is like a breath in a sense, but you do not want to go too deep into either or. You want to stay in the middle, the balance. When you keep the balance, you never go overboard in any way, in any of those two ways you can go. And yes, there are many people saying there are gray zones, but if you are doing something that is immoral, you cannot necessarily blame the circumstances, because you chose to do it in that circumstance instead of trying to overcome it. You made the easiest way out. And I don't blame anyone for that. It is a human trait, or I would say a subhuman trait. A real human trait overcomes. A subhuman trait runs away. I am not saying this to be mean. I am not saying this to be evil. I am saying it as truth. By building strength, by building posture, by building your aura and your core, your center, the stronger you become through pain, through joy, through suffering, through enjoyment. You are still here and you value every single experience because it teaches something. It guides us towards where we are supposed to go, each and every individual one of us. We have, of course, we of course have a responsibility for ourselves to actually find out what we are supposed to do. If we expect to be given what we are supposed to do, you will be put a place you do not want to go. If you focus on every single moment, every single day, every single second, minute is an opportunity to connect. It's an opportunity to expand but stay centered. Expand but stay earth. Stay grounded. This is not easy. It's like using your imagination and connecting it to the earth spheres so that everything hangs together again. It is not two separate things, one invisible, one visible. It becomes, the invisible becomes, the visible becomes the reflection of the invisible. And hence, the physical is in itself a proof of the invisible. The forms, the shapes, the movements, they all have purpose. They all have invisible counterparts that are part and parcel of this physical realm. And the more we want to learn about this, learn about being a human being, learn about what we can achieve with our consciousness, with our perception, with our cognition. It is not the physical realm that is evolving as human beings. Animals do that over slow, long periods of time they evolve. Not as human. We are in a separate category where we grab a hold of our own evolution. And the physical body does not change a whole lot, but our inner faculties, our cognition, perception, consciousness, the way we view things, senses, all of this change. Even though the outer physical do not. And that is why we should cultivate, we should explore, experience, study, have a scholarly, curious, and a mind of amazement, where you are open, like the first day at school. Any child, almost any child, loved the first day at school. Even though they quickly find out they do not enjoy it that much later. But the first day of school, that being open and listening and be here and now. Because when you're here and now, you absorb everything here and now. And the more you're conscious of every little detail, the more you can think back and remember back to exactly what you experienced. And hence you have clear pictures of your memories. By going back and forth from your memories to imagination, to thinking, to feeling, you are using your different states of mind consciously with your own choices. As I said, this requires training. This requires to be open to study this. It requires to not have said to yourself, this is bullshit from the start. When you do not know if it is bullshit, you have taken another's word for it. If you have studied it for a year or two, and then you have come to a conclusion that this is bullshit, then I might actually respect your choice in that. Of course, I would love for you to be more objective and try it for a year or two more, because this takes time. It is seeding, it is sowing seeds. And those seeds take a lot of time, love, focus, and nourishment of the real kind, of the right kind, to grow. That means not running away, not distractions, staying in the moment and try to grab your evolution, trying to choose where you would want to go next. We have this choice. Some less restricted than others, some with less problems than others, but everyone have those. Everyone have their own set of challenges, their own set of karma to pay in life, their own set of struggles, but also joys, pleasures, and love. But of course, to help another human being does not go against their karma. It is part and parcel of their karma if you are to help them enjoy themselves, to help them feel a little more happy and loving. This does not go against karma, so we do not leave suffering people to themselves, necessarily. If we can help it, we help it. So, of course, I fell a little outside of empathy expands and antipathy contracts, but it is in the same area, and you can feel these different kinds of ways of being. I am trying to give examples through pictures and through imagination, but you will have to be here and listen and see what it is that I have to say. So, this is what I had to say today. May the divine, Godhead, Christ, and all the angelic hierarchies guide us on our path to evolution. Love you all. Goodbye.